I went down on the track twice this year, so I'll explain what happened so that you can avoid these hard landings.
Oh man!
And during my 2-day masterclass with Ken Hill, a professional racer of 20 years who has been coaching multiple championship winning racers, he explains 5 reasons why riders go down.
Why are people crashing? And there's really 5 reasons why you crash. And the first one is not having a plan. So you're just going to go out there and hope that things come together.
My first hard landing this year was a low slide. We just started and I literally low sided in the first turn. And essentially I didn't have a plan for a very chilly morning at the end of February, my very first turn in the very first lap of the day. So not only did I have cold tires, I also hadn't done track riding in a while. So I was just so excited, and I had completely forgotten to just be slow on the inputs, be methodical. Think about my lean angle, especially because that first turn is a 90-degree angle. I don't know who designed that. And I wasn't alone. There were dozens of low slides that day. It's good to remember, cold tires. Not just cold like it's a chilly day, but also cold on a warm day and the bike hasn't done a lap yet. My injuries were pretty minimal, but it was very bizarre. I actually didn't feel anything on that low slide. I felt completely fine. So I just continued riding for the rest of the day. It wasn't until much later in the afternoon that I started to feel some pain in my wrist. And it wasn't until the next day, around 3 in the morning, that the pain in my wrist and shoulder and neck was so bad that it woke me up. I'll have an expert weigh in on what happened about that later on. And if that happens to you, you do not want to get back on your bike until you get it taken care of.
The second one is abrupt inputs, right? So how you put the inputs into the motorcycle, and if you're abrupt with them, it's gonna piss things off.
In a way, abrupt inputs was also the cause of my low slide. Because I was so excited after not having been on the track in so long, I wasn't smooth, I wasn't methodical, and I was just too quick on that throttle and probably on that lean for cold tires. So if I had just been careful and smooth and slow to accelerate, slow to lean, I probably wouldn't have low slided like the other people who didn't.
The third one is simply rushing direction, which means not respecting in a corner where the bike needs to be slowed and pointed. Because it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what size bike you're on, it doesn't matter. There's a place where the bike needs to be slowed and pointed so you can get the bike in and out of the corner appropriately.
I'd say that rushing speed in the corners was probably part of the cause of my second hard landing this year, which we'll get into more in a bit. I essentially just ran wide.
Oh, target fixated.
Yeah, is that what I did?
Yeah, you can see it in the camera. I went back and watched the video. You can see you looking, and then you looked up right towards the hill, and you went right towards the hill.
Ken also told me if I had just trailed on that front brake, slowed down, that would have tightened my corner. And if I would have tightened my corner, I wouldn't have thought, oh no, I'm going wide. Looking at the grass, looking to the danger zone, target fixation, you go where you are looking. So when I ended up in the grass, I was actually upright and I hadn't gone down yet. It wasn't until I tried to stop myself in the grass that I actually went down. That might have been back to abrupt inputs. I actually don't remember what I hit. Maybe I hit the front brake, which I know is a no-no, especially abruptly, but I might have done that. I might have hit the rear brake, but whatever I did, I clearly did it too quickly for the traction I had, and I went down in the grass. By the way, if you're ever in an accident while wearing glasses or sunglasses, whether they're plastic or not, and I'm surprised a lot of people aren't talking about this because this can be really risky, just know that your glasses can shatter in an accident. I already know of 2 people who this happened to them. One of the ladies, the glass ended up in her skull, and the other one, the glass ended up in her eye. So just make sure that unless your sunglasses or prescription glasses specify shatterproof, just know that that can happen. This is the brand I've been wearing for years. They're made to be super flexible and bendable. So they're really comfortable in a full face helmet. Like you don't even notice you're wearing them. They come in all kinds of styles, and you can get prescription or sunglasses with snap-ons. However, whole shebang. Discount code DOODLE10. Shout out to Flying Eyes for being a sponsor for today's video after I've already been wearing and loving these for thousands of miles. Now, as far as my injuries when I ran wide in the grass, unlike low siding on the pavement, when I ran wide in the grass, again, I didn't feel anything, but I knew because of adrenaline, maybe I'd feel it later. The next day I felt totally fine, so I had no injuries. But surprisingly, the bike had actually sustained a lot of damage. About $500 worth of damages, and that's without labor. Shout out to the rental company for cutting me a deal there.
Simple ways to reduce injuries are just wearing proper gear and new gear. For instance, if you hit your head going down, time for a new helmet. Some track organizations will tell you not to ride in a leather suit that you've already gone down in. I just got an Alpine Stars airbag vest that, according to this article, they can reduce injuries anywhere from 60 to 80%. That's huge.
The fourth reason is repeating a mistake. If you keep missing apexes and you're going to keep adding speed to it, good luck trying to go faster. You're just going to make your situation worse.
So after going down in the grass, I wasn't hurt, but I was wired. The danger zone!
Yeah, you had a nice little adrenaline dump. You know, the way the body works is with adrenaline is it's a fight or flight, you know, in survival mode, and your body's naturally going to take over. And then everything is just being accelerated because of the adrenaline, and so then your body's like, okay, we're unsafe, we got to do something. And so you're just amped. That's probably what you felt.
What's happening to me?
If your body's like that, you're going to be riding like that. So the whole point is to bring yourself back down with box breathing, checking your body, grounding yourself, not literally, you know, don't crash in the grass, but ground yourself. And then once that adrenaline kind of subsides a little bit, and it might take 20, 30 minutes for that to really happen, then I'd get back on.
Many riders will often meditate or do some kind of mantra to just focus on what they're doing, and I was not calm or focused. And I didn't want to make another mistake because I wasn't focusing on the task.
And the last one that has bitten everybody, including myself, is overconfidence. So the fifth reason why you crash is you're overconfident. Everything works so well, so I'll just do more of it. You have to understand it works well because of all the right things that you did.
So what happened was overconfidence, I think I got a little cocky. I was trying a new technique in body positioning on the end of day 2. I had improved so much, so I was getting very confident. My lane placement was getting more consistent. I was going so much faster, and I thought, all right, let me try improving my body position now. I probably could have asked more questions than I did before I started it. Uh-oh. Now that you know how to avoid the common hard landings, to make the most of your practice session, if you feel like you're just not getting those twisties down, just know you're not a bad rider, but there are 5 common high-speed cornering mistakes you may be doing. Watch this next video to learn what they are so that you can avoid them.